Hello, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. We're here at the New York premiere of a film which has been 4 years in the making, American, the Bill Hicks story. It premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival last year, and it's been on a wonderful festival tour since then. But this is the opening of the theatrical run, and we're really pleased that you guys could be here. It's going to be a fantastic evening. One of the reasons for that is we have some very, very special guests here. So we are lucky enough to have Bill's mother, Mary, and Bill's brother, Steve, here in the audience. It's been a real journey for us and for the family to get to this point, and obviously one of the things that we wanted to do most specifically with the film, as you can tell from the name American, is we wanted to bring it back to American audiences. We've often felt that Bill was maybe, should have been more widely known here, and it's one of the reasons for the film, so thank you very much for being a part of that tonight. We're going to have a panel after the screening, so we hope you stick around for that. We've got some fantastic guests, Eddie Brill, who books Letterman. We've got Jamie Kilstein, the fantastic recent Conan O'Brien slaughterer. And we also have Bill's family going to be up on stage, as well as John Farnetti, one of the original Outlaw comics. But before we do that, we'd really like to introduce you to our super secret special guest host, who's going to make the introduction for us. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Keith Olbermann.
Super secret. I thought somebody interesting was going to come along. I am Manny Ramirez, and I have tested positive for the preservatives that put cookie dough. I'm sorry, that's a baseball joke. My apologies for it. One of the things that I did in my the waning weeks of my show, what was the name of it again? I forget. The show I used to do on cable news before the new show I'm going to do on cable news, premiering sometime next month or in June, was a segment called Bill Hicks is Still Ahead of the Curve. I'd like to add something to this. Your presence here confirms two things of great importance. Bill Hicks is alive and well. And as you will see in this extraordinary film that Matt and Paul did, that Bill Hicks is still ahead of the curve. I can't really, and I'm sure everybody in this room tries to articulate just what it was like to hear or see Bill's work for the first time, and how it necessarily changed your life. And I'm not being, I hope, hyperbolic when I say that. I had a certain view of myself as open-minded and kind of broad-minded, and more importantly, I had a view of myself as funny, and all of these things were corrected the first time I heard Bill Hicks' work. The extraordinary breadth and the extraordinary honesty, lessons not just to us about how we could enjoy the world around us or enjoy humor, but really lessons about perception, about seeing things the way they really are. Every once in a while, I'll get a little too, well, now, sorry, oh God. And the late Keith Olbermann said his final words were, sometimes I get messed up about how things really are. Every once in a while, and in my new capacity as not only stinking management, but stinking ownership of a commercial television network. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bill. Forgive me. Forgive me. Every once in a while, I will get kind of corporate, and then I will pop in anything, whether it's a CD or a tape, or just remembering a line or going online and finding something. And this will be, well, my third eye will be squeegeed rather nicely. The reminder of life and entertainment and what a comic's role is, a good comic's role is, and what all of our roles are as citizens, is underscored, I think, best by, and I have to be very careful about this for reasons that will be evident to you in just a moment, a certain routine in which he describes the theoretical end of a late-night talk show host, and how, while interviewing an actor named Joey, he finally realizes that he has sold out everything that he believes in, and the only way out is to off himself in a colorful fashion, in which, in a final act of loyalty, a bird-like logo of the network for which he worked appears behind him as the blood splatter. I like to think of this for my own self as a kind of cathartic, a kind of wish fulfillment without actually having to go through the thing myself. So this is how this has been of value to me, and Bill's works have been of value to me in the last 20 years. But particularly when I was at ESPN and sort of was falling into the corporate sports world and a I don't know, a sort of appreciation of the point of view that said, no, keep selling them more Tiger Woods video games. Keep selling them this crap. This was when the first time that I listened to a lot of Bill's work collectively, and it cured me of that right quick. Now, you are all familiar with his work, or if you're not, you're here with somebody who has told you for years, my God, you've got to see this. I think you will agree with the first observation I ever made about Bill, which was that had he had more time, he would have wound up hosting his own religion. Because the perceptiveness of what he saw and the jokes about all the other religions and the jokes and they're jokes because we can laugh at them. They're in fact statements of truth issued from one of the few people who was willing to put himself on the line and put his income on the line by telling you the truth in a very real, tangible way that those of us with contracts and with day-to-day jobs and suits and ties really don't have to face, once in a while, but not on a nightly basis where you're standing up on a stage like that and what you're going to say could be the last time that somebody or everybody books you in your line of work. And as he used to observe, weeks of obscurity and months of obscurity and travels across the country, where we did not necessarily appreciate him while we had him. And this is my reference earlier to religion and the prospect that he would have had his own. In this extraordinary life that was not fully appreciated while we were fortunate enough to have him, how would you possibly convey this to people who did not know who he was or what he did or what he said or how funny he was or more importantly how truthful he was? It would require something really special in the way of a motion picture. It would require something really special and a dedication and a willingness to say, all right, how can we take this spirit that he had and build upon it? How can we use that to create a documentary film and do it in a Bill Hicks way? And your auteurs have managed this extraordinarily. If you have not seen this film, be prepared for something totally different in documentary filmmaking, and something that I think perhaps even people in this room or other rooms like it in the next few months as this goes across the country will very happily steal. I have been thinking about ways that I could steal it and put it in my new show. The innovation, and I'm not going to give away any of the tricks in advance except to just sort of ask you to pay attention to what you are seeing and what you are not seeing and how you feel about what you're seeing and where you think you are as you're seeing it. These are, as somebody who does essentially a documentary about each day in the news, to see some new and totally different style of presenting this that is both artistic and yet also true to the documentary style, and again, innovative, is a breath of fresh air. And I will quote Bill's mom, who said to me before we saw this film for the first time last summer, that you had seen it by that point, I think, 12 or 15 times, and it's the best compliment the filmmakers could ever possibly get, I think. What Mary said to me was simply this: I enjoy it each time, I see something new each time, and I would enjoy it even if it wasn't about Bill. So, with my thanks to everybody who's been involved in this, and particularly to my friends, the Hicks, who have welcomed me throughout this process, and as long as I've been here to occasionally echo something that Bill did, that means steal it. I think I should get out of the way and let you watch this. Yeah, I've talked long enough. I'll let you watch and enjoy American, the Bill Hicks story, and it's as good as Bill was. What else can we say? Thank you kindly. Yeah, there was feedback.